April 18th and 19th, 2024 work days. We had that second load of wood chips there, and we're just going to kind of jump up a little bit and look around the area, get the lay of the land as far as where this garden is in relationship to town. Kind of bird's eye view. Just going to kind of go around. We did actually end up getting something planted at the very end, but mainly we're still kind of working infrastructure. A little bit of weed management, trying to get a hold of the weeds before they get a hold of us, but without having to, resort to chemicals or tilling. But man, Riceland's a big plant. Anyway, so as we're panning down, you'll see the black there. That is some weed fabric that I had from one of my gardens over in Marion. And I just brought that over, and on the areas it's probably going to be the longest time until we actually plant anything. Figured just kind of put that down. It's not going to be perfect, but it should help keep the grass down a little bit, and mainly on the longer rows, since I had long pieces. In the shorter rows, I didn't want to be cutting the pieces up if I could help it, because I'll probably be reusing them. They're good for many years anyway. But yeah, so we just kind of put some of that down, use the landscape staples and to hold it down, just trying to hold all that in place until we work our way around. You'll see the little wedge at the top. It's got the longer rows covered, but the green you see is not something that we planted. That is that grass that's out there. I don't remember exactly what kind it is. It's got rhizomes, so it's a little bit of a pain to deal with, although as the soil becomes looser, or like today right after a rain, it's a lot easier to pull up and even pull some of the little runners. You'll notice the 3 vertical T-posts, and if you've got good eyes, you might see there's a cattle panel. So we got 2 of the 16-foot cattle panels put up. Those can be used for tomatoes, for cucumbers, or anything we need that's going to be climbing. So that's what those are there for. There is a big piece of heavy craft paper underneath that as a weed barrier, and then poked holes in that, put the T-post, put the cattle panel, and then covered the craft paper with wood chips to hold it down so that it doesn't blow away and stuff like that. And when it comes time to put anything in, I will probably not direct seed, we'll probably do transplants. So all we have to do is just kind of cut a hole, kind of move the wood chips back, cut a little hole, and transplant whatever is going to go in there into that area. Just kind of looking around from the center, giving you a different view. And I may start working tonight on some makeshift labels, identifying, because like right there where you're looking, there's actually a little bit of asparagus starting to come up, a few little strawberries there on your left, kind of dead center of that first little row. There are we've got some sunflowers, some onions, kind of get a different vantage point over here, look at some of the potatoes. Those 2 little bitty rows at the top there have got birdseed in them. It's got a bit of a cover crop. Yeah, I'm still practicing with this drone. I need to spend a whole lot more time that I don't have getting smoother flying it. But that row we're kind of centered on looking at, that's got the russet potatoes I got from D&E, and that's kind of a roost out way of doing the potatoes. Literally laid the potatoes on the ground, covered them with straw, and then there was a little bit of that raised bed mix left over, so we just put that on top, and as you can see, they seem to be coming up good. On the row to the left of that, what doesn't look like there's anything there, it's got sunflowers. It's starting to come up. You got daylilies right there. And looking towards that cattle panel, the row behind 5, 6, 7, the row with the cattle panels is row number 8, and the row behind that is row number 9. And right before I left, I went ahead and planted 2 furrows more or less on the outside of that row with bush beans, and then down the center I put okra, and it's pretty thick on the okra, so it'll definitely need to be thinned out a little bit as they come up, but I've got tons of okra seed, and it's 2 or 3 years old, so I'm not sure what the germination rate is going to be. So go ahead and just lay it in heavy, and it's easier to thin than it is to replant later. Yeah, so it's kind of going through again there a little bit, and then we're going to come in for a landing. And if you'll hang out just a couple of seconds after the landing, you'll see one of our little garden gnomes retrieving her compost fork here in just a second after this drone lands.